Listen, if you work in Blender, there's one thing you absolutely need to know. Shortcuts aren't just small keys, they're the difference between an hour of work and the same work done in just minutes. Most people use Blender every single day, but still miss the shortcuts that actually save the most time. But today, that changes. In this video, I'm covering over 90 Blender shortcuts, each one practical, each one useful, and each one designed to make your workflow instantly faster. No long lectures, no unnecessary theory, just the shortcuts you'll use every day. And trust me, if you stay with me for just 15 minutes, your speed inside Blender will completely transform. Modeling, rendering, navigation, everything becomes smoother, faster, and so much easier. Shortcuts aren't just tools, they're a 3D artist's superpower. And today, I'm giving you all of them. Let's begin. F1. Blender Manual. Whenever something in Blender feels fusing, press F1 and the official manual opens immediately. If you need help, this is exactly where you'll find it. And yeah, most of us open it only once in a while, but whenever we do, it literally saves our life. ESC. Cancel. Close pop-up. If any window is annoying you, press ESC. That's it. If only life's problems would disappear with ESC as well. Rename. If you want to rename an object, press F2. It's simple. And believe me, the whole cube.01, cube02 situation is the biggest enemy of a 3D artist's life. Search anything. Can't find a tool? You know what you need, but you don't know where it went? Press F3, type the name, and done. It's basically a tiny Google built inside Blender. Last render. As soon as you press F11, your last rendered image appears, as if Blender is reminding you, yes, bro, you made this. Render image. If you want to see the final output, press F12. And if you accidentally start a render, press ESC. Absolute life saver. Render animation. To render the entire animation, press Ctrl F12, and then press ESC. Otherwise, your PC will start rendering you. Undo, redo, Ctrl Z. This is literally every artist's oxygen. If you make a mistake, just press it. The world becomes fine again. And redo, Shift Ctrl Z. That's for the moments when you realize, man, undoing was the real mistake. Reset location, rotation scale. Alt-R resets the rotation. Alt-G resets the location. Alt+S resets the scale. Duplicate. Shift-D creates a complete duplicate, independent, free, its own separate object. Linked duplicate. Alt-D creates a memory-saving duplicate. The geometry is shared, but the objects remain separate. Show hide. H hides the selected objects. Shift-H hides everything else. And Alt-H brings everything back to the screen. MMB. Rotate view, drag with the middle mouse button, and the entire 3D world rotates in your hand, just like you're holding a tiny globe and spinning it around. Zoom view, Control MMB. Control middle mouse gives you a smooth, precise zoom in and out. Sometimes you zoom so close it feels like you can see the object's liver. Select, deselect everything. Press A to select everything. Press A twice to deselect everything. It's simple, fast, and honestly a daily shortcut for modeling. Box select B. Press B and drag a rectangle. Everything inside that box gets selected. This shortcut is basically the daily bread and butter for every Blender user. Circle select. Press C and you get a circular brush. Just like painting, you select geometry smoothly and naturally. Selection has never felt this smooth. Numpad views. 1 for the front view, Control 1 for the back view, 3 for the right side, Control 3 for the left side, 7 for the top, Control 7 for the bottom. And when you want to see the exact frame of the camera, press Numpad 0. Focus object. If an object gets lost somewhere in the scene, just press Numpad period. Blender instantly focuses on it and centers it perfectly. Side panels. The right side properties panel opens and closes with N. The left side tool panel toggles with T. Clipping box view. Press Alt-B and draw a window in your viewport. Blender will show only the geometry inside that window. Everything else disappears. No distractions, clean and focused. Local view. Press slash to make only the selected object visible. Everything else is temporarily hidden. Press slash again and everything comes back. Zoom step. Numpad plus and minus gives smooth step-by-step zooming. No jumpy mouse wheel here. Render region. Parent, unparent, Control P makes one object the parent of another. Alt P removes that relationship completely. Subdivision hotkeys. If a subdivision surface modifier is active, Control 1, 2, 3, 4, or 5 instantly sets the subdivision level. Apply modifier under cursor. Place your cursor on a modifier in the list and press Control A. The modifier is applied immediately. Apply transform, Control A. To make scale, rotation, and position permanent, press Control A and choose Apply Transform. Invert selection, Control I. Whatever wasn't selected becomes selected, and whatever was selected becomes deselected. A complete flip in one shortcut. Merge by distance. The fastest way to clean up duplicate vertices, press M and choose Merge by distance. Separate objects. To split loose parts into separate objects, press P and choose Separate by loose parts. Join objects, Control J. Insert keyframe I. To lock in position, rotation, or scale for animation, press I. 3D cursor. Shift right-click places the 3D cursor wherever you click. Shift-C resets the cursor to the world center. Pivot point menu. Press the period key, open the pivot point menu. Median point, 3D cursor, individual origins, and more. Transform orientation menu. Press the comma key, switch between global, local, normal, or gimbal orientations. Complete precision control. Toggle snapping. Shift-Tab toggles snapping on or off. In precise modeling, this tiny shortcut becomes a huge lifesaver. Snapping options menu. To choose between grid, vertex, edge, or face snapping, press Ctrl-Shift-Tab. It opens the quick snapping menu instantly. Shading pie menu. Press Z to open the entire shading menu. Wireframe, solid, material, rendered. All view modes right under your fingertips. X-ray mode. When you need to get inside the mesh or select vertices behind the object, press Alt-Z. The object becomes see-through like it's in glass mode. Wireframe toggle. If you want a quick Cycles Viewport preview or need to switch wireframe on and off, press Shift-Z. Instant mode switching. Topology line overlay hide. If the mesh's edge wire lines are distracting and you want a clean shaded view, press Shift-Alt-Z. The viewport becomes smooth and clean. Now comes Blender's most emotional chapter, the file system. Control-N creates a new scene, like a completely fresh workspace. Control-O opens an old file as if the old project is saying, "Bro, you came back?" Control-S is oxygen. It saves your life from Blender crashes. Make this a habit, or emotional damage is guaranteed. Save as, Control-Shift-S. This creates a new copy of your file, and this shortcut is responsible for the world's most iconic folders. Final, Final 2, Final, Really Final, Final, Please Work. Every 3D artist has lived this tragedy. And if you ever get a sudden toilet emergency in the middle of your project, press Control-Q. But warning, don't press it without saving. Otherwise, Blender will say, "Bro, I'm leaving, take care of yourself." Page up, page down. Hidden navigation boost. Let's check a tiny hidden power, page up and page down. If you're scrolling through panels, lists, modifiers, or the outliner and the mouse wheel feels slow, page up jumps upward instantly. Page down jumps downward. Home. View reset. If you zoom out too much or the scene looks messy or an object disappears somewhere, press Home. Blender fits the entire scene into one clean frame, like saying, "Everyone, get in line." Select mode toggle. In edit mode, switching between selection modes is very simple. 1 for vertex mode, 2 for edge mode, 3 for face mode. These 3 buttons are literally the daily bread and butter of modeling. Select more, select less. If you want to grow or shrink your selection smartly, press Ctrl numpad plus to expand, or Ctrl numpad minus to shrink. It follows the topology flow perfectly. Rip tool V. Press V to literally tear the mesh apart, like pulling geometry slightly away. Perfect for cloth-style cuts, breaks, or split effects. Split Y. If you want to separate selected geometry from the rest of the mesh, press Y. The geometry becomes separate, but the object stays as one. Useful for keeping topology clean or adjusting sections independently. Inset faces I. Press I to create a clean inset frame inside the selected face. Important for detailing, panels, or adding sharp definitions. Extrude along normals. If you want faces to extrude outward evenly in their original direction, press Alt-E and choose Extrude along normals. All faces extrude perfectly along their own normals, creating complex shapes within seconds. Edge. Mesh Specials. Press Ctrl-E, and the entire Edge and Mesh Specials menu appears. It includes powerful tools like Edge Crease, Edge Slide, Sharp Mark Clear Sharp, Bevel Weight, bridge edge loops, a full professional toolkit in one menu. When you press Ctrl E, it's like Blender says, "Alright bro, now let's handle geometry professionally." If vertices or an edge are selected, press F to instantly create the face in between, a fast and clean way to fill geometry. Recalculate normals. If shading starts to look weird, some faces appear dark, others catch light incorrectly. The normals are usually flipped. Normals decide whether a face looks outward or inward. To fix it, select the faces and press Shift-N. Blender corrects all normals instantly, and shading becomes clean again. Shrink fatten. Press Alt-S and the faces inflate or deflate along their normals. Gives sculpting style control inside edit mode. Bevel. Press Ctrl-B to bevel edges. Drag to set the width. Scroll the mouse wheel to add segments, a classic modeling tool. Dissolve. Ctrl-Delete. Ctrl-Delete dissolves edges or faces, cleanly removing geometry without creating holes. Loop cut and slide. Ctrl-R. Press Ctrl-R to add a loop cut. Move the mouse to slide it, or right-click to place it exactly at the center. Triangulate faces. Quads are best for modeling, but game engines only understand triangles. Before exporting, select faces and press Ctrl-T. Blender converts all quads into clean triangles. Edit mode hide unhide, Alt-H. Press H to temporarily hide selected geometry. Press Alt-H to bring everything back. Proportional editing. Bro, the moment you press O, proportional editing turns on. Now when you move any part of the mesh, the nearby area moves smoothly along with it. It's perfect for soft, natural shaping, like heads, bodies, cloth, ears, anything. And if you want to turn it off, just press O again, and you're done. Render region. Press Ctrl-B and draw a box, and Blender will render only what's inside that box. Doesn't matter what the camera is showing. It's great when you want to test just a small part of your scene without doing a full render. And if you want to remove the region, press Ctrl-Alt-B. Walk-fly navigation. When you press Shift the backtick key, Blender instantly switches into a first-person navigation mode, almost like you've entered your own 3D world. Now the movement works exactly like a game. W to move forward, S to move back, A to move left, D to move right, and you can look around smoothly just by moving your mouse. Repeat last action. Imagine you duplicate an object. You place it exactly where you want, and now you need to do the same thing 10 or 20 more times. Doing it manually each time? That's just wasted time. Instead, just press Shift-R, and Blender steps in like a hero and says, "Relax, bro. Whatever you just did, I'll repeat it for you. I'll keep your workflow smooth." Move, rotate, scale. Using G, you can move any object. Using R, you can rotate it. Using S, you can scale it. These three shortcuts are basically the oxygen of every 3D artist, and if you want perfect control, just press X, Y, or Z afterward to lock the movement to an axis. Blender gives you complete precision. Shift-G, select similar. Select one object, press Shift-G, and Blender asks you, "Bro, what type of similarity should I look for?" Area, material, vertex count, and many more options. With one click, you can select all similar objects in your entire scene. Press K, and you can cut your mesh exactly where you want. Clean cuts, sharp cuts, perfect control. Simple, fast, and super accurate. Link data. Bro, when you press Ctrl-L, Blender links important data from one object to all the others you've selected. You can link materials, modifiers, object data, even animations. It's perfect when you want multiple objects to share the exact same settings without copying everything manually. K, keyframe choice. Object mode. Bro, when you press K, Blender doesn't keyframe everything automatically. It actually asks you exactly what you want to keyframe: location, rotation, scale, or any single option you choose. Unlike the I key, which drops all transforms at once, K gives you full control to keyframe only one specific thing. Adjust last operation. If your bevel gets the wrong width, or your extrude goes a little too far, don't worry at all. Just press F9, and Blender instantly brings up all the settings of your last action right on the screen. This shortcut is honestly a complete lifesaver. Vertex bevel. Everyone knows how to bevel edges, but beveling vertices? Ctrl-Shift-B is the magic. You get beautiful rounded corners, perfect for clean, smooth modeling. And that's it. You've now unlocked more than 90 shortcuts that can transform the way you work inside Blender. If this video helped you, make sure to like it and subscribe to the channel because I have so many more Blender Power tips coming your way. Thank you so much for watching. Stay creative, stay consistent, and I'll see you in the next video. Bro, ye final version, hey.